Well, I took Lizzie's advice.
What was that?
Well, that boy Kevin at work, he's asked me out, and I'm going.
Tonight?
Yeah, he's going to buy me dinner, and then we're going to a disco.
G'day, Dor. Oh, I'm glad to see you. Listen, love, I've cooked such a meal for you. Took me all afternoon to work it out. None of that muck they used to serve you up at Wentworth. This is real cording bleu stuff that Clara cooked.
Gee, that's real nice, but...
No trouble at all, love. I had a terrific time working it all out. I reckon I got my old touch back. I've tried stuff that I haven't touched for 40 years.
Oh, it'll be terrific, Lizzie.
You can't say that until you tasted it. And you got to tell me whether you like it or not. I've done everything real fancy. I even went out and I bought some candles.
Oh, they'll be real good, Lizzie.
Oh, Mum, are you okay?
Well,
Well, let's get out of here.
Just leave him. He'll be all right.
Mummy's not safe.
now we'll see who
so
beg.
stupid.
Come on now, beg, you bitch, or I'll kill you. Beg! Go on!
No, you don't know what you're doing.
Beg! I'll kill you.
We'll have to call the police.
They'll say we murdered him.
It was self-defense.
Who's going to believe that?
What do you mean, Carolyn?
You never let anyone know what he was like. The way he treated you, knocked you around. Nobody knows what he was really like. So why should the police believe it was self-defense?
But it was. They can see what he did to me.
There'll only be our word for that. It's not enough, Mum. We've got to make up some story.
What? Tell lies? To the police?
We have to. We could say it was burglars.
Burglars?
Yes. We could say they broke in and Dad disturbed them. That's why he's got the rifle. He threatened them with it.
I don't think I could do it.
Well, we've got to do something. We'll say one of them attacked him and the other stabbed him from behind. Then they escaped. We'll have to work out all the details before we call the police.
We can't just leave him lying there.
He's dead. It's not going to make any difference to him. Pull yourself together, Mum. We've got things to do.
What things?
Well, I'll have to force a window to show how the burglars got in. And the knife, I'll have to wipe my fingerprints off the handle.
Oh, no, Carol, no, you can't.
Wash it, Mum. Get all the blood out of it. Now, where's Dad's toolbox?
The shed, why?
Well, I'll need a screwdriver to force the window.
Oh! That was a beaut stew, Lizzie.
Yeah, it was. Just like my mum used to make.
It wasn't just a stew, you know. I got it out of a recipe book. It was called beef strong. Oh, I don't know, some foreign word.
Anyway, it was real good.
Would have been a lot better if we'd had some grog to wash it down with.
Yeah, couldn't we just have one glass of wine each?
Sorry, you know the rules. No booze of any sort.
But this is a celebration.
Yeah, and you can't have a celebration without grog.
And you can't have a halfway house without rules. We make the rules, Lizzie, no one else. Like it or not, we've got to keep up appearances.
Well, you're just a wet blanket.
Look, you want to keep the house running, don't you? Don't want to give anyone cause to complain about us?
Rhonda's right, Lizzie.
But who'd know?
Look, anyone could walk in. Miss Jeffries, Mrs. Davidson. What did we do then?
Give him a glass of grog.
I've locked the wine away. It'll be used for cooking and that's all. Now, I don't want to argue about it any further.
She should know all the grog I'd put in the tucker. I don't know why we're not chickened by now.
I'm sorry to disappoint you, Lizzie, but wine's used in cooking for the flavour only. All the alcohol evaporates.
What? You mean it goes up in smoke?
And steam, anyway.
What a waste. Anyway, the sweeps have got enough brandy and they won't have lost their sting.
Pity about your date with Kev, but there'll be other times.
Probably won't, you know. Not now I've stood him up the once. Anyway, might give him the message and he'll stop bothering me at work. Suppose good friends are better than boyfriends anyhow.
What are you on about, Dor?
Oh, I was just talking about good friends and how important they are.
Yeah. I miss Bea and Pat and Kath and Roz.
Yeah, I do too. Wonder what they're all up to now.
Roz was in the pound when I got out. I pinched a radio from the screw staff room and stuck it into her.
Oh, good on you, Lizzie.
You're impossible, Lizzie.
Yeah, I know. Here, Dor, get yourself around that. The brandy and that'll make your hair curl.
Oh, I thought you'd gone off duty hours ago.
I volunteered to work back. I had nothing planned and we were short-staffed as usual. Anyway, I'm looking forward to getting home now. Where did that come from?
What?
My radio.
Oh, I don't know. It was there when I came in.
I haven't seen it for days.
Well, perhaps it had fallen behind the locker and someone found it and put it back.
No, someone's been using it. I put brand new batteries in this and now they're almost flat.
But who'd do a thing like that?
I don't know. I don't think any of the staff would.
Well, now the security gates are kept locked. No way the prisoners can get in here.
Have you got it all straight, Mum? You know what you have to say. We came in just as the man attacked Dad. While they were struggling, you got hit in the face, right?
Yes. Yes, I know.
I can't put off phoning the police any longer, Mum. You sure you're all right?
Yes, just don't leave me alone with...
He can't hurt you anymore, Mum.
You give me a shot from that angle. Just there. And one from round there. Right, now, round here and from above.
Right. Excuse me, please.
You say it was the taller one that did the stabbing?
Yes.
Is there anything you can add to the description that your daughter has given us, Mrs. Williams?
No. No, as Carolyn says, it all happened so quickly.
Yes. Well, perhaps when you're calmer, you might be able to remember some more details.
There have been other burglaries in the neighborhood lately, haven't there?
Quite a few. We had thought it was one man working alone, but the fact that you've been able to give us a description could be quite a break for us. I'd like you to come down to the station in the morning and make a full statement.
Well, would it be all right if I came by myself? Mum's too upset to make much sense.
Yes, that'll be all right. I can talk to your mother at a later date. Don, can you take the two ladies' fingerprints now?
Fingerprints? Why do you need our fingerprints?
Unless we have your fingerprints to compare with any we may find, we won't know if we have the murderer's fingerprints or yours.
Oh, yes, of course.
Colson seems to be behaving herself since she's been released from solitary.
Well, I should certainly hope so. That young lady's been more than enough trouble.
Paul Reed said that she's hopeful of getting her HSC.
Well, it could be just what she needs. It'd certainly stop her from devising problems for us. Come in.
Something I feel I should report to you, Mrs. Davidson.
Yes, Vera.
My transistor radio went missing from the staff room the other day and mysteriously reappeared again last night.
Oh?
You don't happen to know anything about it, do you, Mr. Fletcher?
No, only that Meg mentioned it in the staff room last night before we left. I didn't notice it there then.
It was there on the table. Obviously someone's been using it. The batteries are nearly flat.
Or probably one of the officers borrowed it and forgot to tell you.
No, I asked them all when it was missing and I've checked around again this morning. None of them had it.
Well, how long has it been missing?
3 days.
Well, what about Paul Reed? Have you mentioned it to him?
He's not in at present. Nobody seems to know where he is.
Oh, no, that's right. He mentioned to be working outside this morning. I suggest you check with him when he comes in.
I don't have a very high opinion of the man, but I doubt if even he would borrow my radio without asking.
Probably not. But we must check all avenues.
Whichever way you look at it, Mrs. Davidson, it seems one of the prisoners must have taken it.
Yes, and then gotten cold feet and put it back again.
But I don't understand. How could they get into the staff room when the security gates are kept locked?
There's only one answer. They've got a key.
Surely not.
Well, I made a key to this office. There could be others.
A key to the security gates? But that's unthinkable. It means they could walk out of this place at any time.
That's exactly what it means.
Well, then we'd better make a search and not waste any more time.
G'day.
Oh, now look what you've done.
Sorry, Debbie.
Oh, you've really buggered it, haven't you?
Yeah, well, I can fix it. I'm good at that sort of thing.
Yeah, well, I hope you can. Otherwise, you can buy me a new one.
Hey, listen, what happened to you last night? I waited around for ages.
Yeah, well, I had to visit a sick friend, and I didn't know how to get in touch with you.
Well, you could have come along later.
Well, I didn't know where the pub was, did I?
I mean, you could have gotten a taxi. The driver would have known where it was.
Taxi? What do you think I am? Maid of money?
Well, so I would have paid for it.
Oh, so you're made of money now. Sorry, I hadn't realised.
Oh, well, I'll drop this into you tomorrow then.
Terrific, and I've got nothing to listen to today.
Well, I'll lend you my trainer.
Okay, then.
And I'll fix this one for you this afternoon and I'll drop it into you tonight.
Oh, you needn't do that. Tomorrow I'll do.
No, it's all right. I don't mind coming round. Where do you live?
I said you can give it to me tomorrow.
What are they looking for, Mrs. Davidson?
Nothing in maternity except the usual. Cups, spoons, etc.
Well, we expected that.
Nothing.
Right, next one.
You won't find anything in there. What have you got your knickers in a knot for anyway?
Just mind your own business, Smith.
Well, I'd be glad to, but people keep barging into me cell.
Why isn't O'Connell present?
She's on kitchen duty. She'll probably still be cleaning up after breakfast.
Yeah, maybe she's hidden something in the mashed potatoes. Perhaps you should shove them through a sieve and find out. Got any clue what's going on?
All I've found so far is a bit of stuff that's been pinched from the kitchen.
Oh, good, I don't know. Can't even get away with a bit of loot like that these days. Tell you what, this is no place for a coup.
And how are you this morning, Miss Waterhouse?
I'm fine, thank you, Kevin. How are things with you?
Oh, not too bad, not bad. But look, I've had a bit of an accident, though. Oh, nothing serious. But you know Debbie Ray, the new girl down in the packing room? Yeah, I knocked her tranny over and broke it.
Just what were you doing?
Oh, no, nothing like that. No. Just snuck up behind her and gave her a bit of a fright, that's all. But look, I've got this problem, you see. I'm going to fix the thing for her today and drop it in tonight, but I seem to have lost her address.
Well, you better go back and ask her.
Yeah, well, I would, but Mr. Muir's been hanging around there all day, and I wouldn't want to get her into trouble. You could look up the files and tell me, couldn't you?
Well, I'm not supposed to, you know.
Yeah. Go on, Miss Waterhouse, just for me.
Oh, all right. But don't tell anyone I gave it to you.
No, no worries.
There you are.
Great. You're terrific, Miss Waterhouse.
And they managed to find all the stuff I've nicked at different times. They took the whole bloody lot. Such an invasion of privacy. Yeah.
Privacy? You don't expect anything to be private in here, do you? Not exactly the convent, you know.
Didn't get much privacy in there either. At least they didn't go through your rooms and leave them look like a pigsty.
Well, looks like we're finished for the moment anyway.
It's going to take us about an hour to clean up ourselves.
Well, why don't you make a formal complaint to the department? You'd always say your cell had been screwed up. Oh, Struth, they're back again.
All right, you lot. You're going to have a body search and no nonsense.
You don't believe in leaving us any dignity, do you?
Come on, Smith, you first, outside.
Oh, you're going to run your hands out of my body, are you, Fletch? I can hardly wait.
I'll be searching you, Smith. Outside.
Latham, you can go with Officer Watson.
Talk about invasion of bloody privacy. Yes.
If you've got nothing to hide, you've got nothing to worry about. Come on, the rest of you, move. Coulson, you can go with Miss Bennett when she's finished with Smith. It is necessary.
Brian was a gentleman in every sense of the word. Not only a gentleman, but a gentleman. But of course, I don't have to tell either of you that.
No.
It's a terrible tragedy that a man like that should be killed defending his family. To my way of thinking, it's an indictment of this age we live in. That a man's no longer safe within his own home.
John, please, I'd really rather not keep discussing it.
No, of course not, Vivian. I'm sorry. I just want to offer my condolences as a friend of the family. And I want you to know that I'll do everything within my power to get the insurance money through to you as quickly as possible.
Insurance money?
Well, I know it's of little consolation at this terrible time, but at least Brian did provide for your future.
We didn't know he was still taking out insurance with you.
Oh, yes. A very substantial policy. As soon as all the unpleasant business with the police is over, I'll come back with some claim forms for you to fill in.
Oh, thanks, John. Mum and I are still a bit confused about everything.
Yes, of course you are. But as I say, at least you don't have to worry about your financial problems. Oh, if there's anything else I can do, just give me a call. Okay?
Thanks, John.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Isn't that just like Dad? Doesn't matter that you're on the breadline. Just as long as he can keep up appearances with John and pay the insurance premiums.
We can't take it, Carolyn.
What?
The insurance money, we can't take it.
Well, what else could we do? It'll look very suspicious if we don't make the claim. We've got to act normally, Mum.
We killed him. We can't take his money.
Perhaps we're mistaken. Perhaps there isn't a key.
Then how could any of the prisoners get to the staff room when the security gates were locked?
I've been thinking about that. The day before Lizzie was released, you caught her with a number of stolen goods, remember?
Yes.
Well, she was sent back to the kitchen from here, unescorted.
Then she could have ducked into the staff room and taken the radio. Sounds like Lizzie.
Yes, that's what I thought.
No. The transistor was returned after Lizzie had left. That means that one of the prisoners still has access to the staff room.
Oh, you're right. There must be a key.
But we've looked everywhere.
Then we'll just have to look again.
You'd think being pregnant would make some difference.
Not then.
Oh, I hate being groped all over like that.
I bet you never said that to whoever got up the spout.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to let the screws touch my baby when it comes. I don't want it being contaminated.
You're really looking forward to it, aren't you?
Yeah, I am. Things will be real different for me then. I'm going to give my kid a good life. Never going to end up in here again.
Want to bet?
I'd like to have kids one day. Yeah, it won't be too late for you when you get out. You'll still be in your 20s. I'd like to forget all about this place.
Marry some nice bloke. Settle down.
Oh, now doesn't that sound cosy? I can just imagine what'll happen to you two. Chrissy will go back in the game, and you'll end up married to some bludger who'll walk out and leave you with 4 kids in their hands.
You're just jealous, because you know you're going to be an old woman before you get out of here.
Thanks a bloody lot.
Best thing is to play it cool from now on. I don't want to muck up my chances for parole, see?
Me either.
I'm going to the loo.
Oh, God. Well, listen to the bloody Girl Guides.
Anything?
Not a thing. I don't think there is a key, Vera.
There must be, and it has to be found.
We don't have any proof it was one of the prisoners that returned that radio.
Who else do you suggest? The only way they could get through the security gate is with a key. Now, it must be found.
All right, all right. We'll keep looking. Must be a million places to hide a key.
Then we'll look in them all.
You know, if you were really concerned about your future, the last person you'd be getting mated with would be Chrissy. I've told you that before. She's nothing but trouble. But you should know that.
She's changed.
The only way she's going to change is from rotten to worse.
You're wrong, Bea. She's changing because of a baby. She really wants it. She wants to get out of this place and stay out.
She pulled the wool over your eyes. She is nothing but a little bitch. She always was and she always will be.
I'd like to make up my own mind about that, thank you, Bea.
On your own head, be it then.
Wait till you hear what I've got to tell you.
Who cares?
I heard Vera talking. Want to know what they're looking for? What? Oh, of course, if some people aren't interested, I could... Come on, Chrissy, what are they looking for? A key. A key? What sort of key? To the security gates. You see, they reckon we must have been able to get through the gates to get Vera's radio back to the staff room.
Oh. There you are, you silly little nit. I told you not to trust that radio to the social worker.
Keep his word. He didn't dob me in.
But we've put up with all this searching because of him.
There's nothing we can do about that now.
Oh, isn't there? Well, we'll see. If he started it, he can stop it. I'll just have to have a little word with him, won't I?
Is all this noise really necessary, Miss Ray?
Oh, sorry, Mr. Muir.
I don't see how you could possibly concentrate with that going on.
Oh, yes, I can. It helps. Gets real lonely in here without the tranny.
Really? You surprise me. The number of times young Burns has popped in to speak to you, I didn't think you had enough time to get lonely.
Well, he just came back to lend me his tranny.
Yeah, well, as I said, I don't see how it can be anything but a distraction. Now, let's have a look at some of your work, shall we? Just as I thought. Here's a parcel without any postcode on it. You know, it's essential to use the postcode. You've been told that.
Well, I must have missed it.
Yes, obviously. Let me tell you something, young lady. You'll stand a far better chance of keeping your job if you'd concentrate on the work instead of mooning about over some young delivery driver.
Yes, Mr. Muir.
Thanks, Tony.
Good afternoon.
Mr. Jackson. Well, what's happening today?
Well, I've just come on duty, but I gather there's some sort of search going on.
Search for what?
Well, I haven't found out the details yet. Something must be missing, I suppose.
Never ends, does it?
Oh, B. Smith wants to see you.
Oh, that's good, because I want to see her too. Could you bring her to my office in about 15 minutes?
Right.
Oh, and Meg, I hope you'll forgive me for snapping at you yesterday.
Sure.
You weren't here last night. We had some whiskey that Billy pinned from his old man. That and a couple of joints, oh boy.
Sounds great. You sure the other people won't mind me camping here for a few days?
Of course they won't. Bill and I have got one room and Carl and Nola's got the other. So you'll have to rough it in here for a few days.
That's fine.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
Addison, Tony wants to stay with us for a few days.
Yeah, sure. Bad scene at home, eh?
Yeah, the old man kept hassling me, so I cleared out.
Good idea. The sooner you get him off your back, the better. The only time I ever go home is when I need some bread.
And a pinch of bottle of whiskey. Tony's applying for an apprenticeship with BHP.
Yeah, I want to get a job working in the mines. I shouldn't be here too long.
No problem. Sally, you got much dope left?
Only these.
Is that all?
Well, we went through a lot last night, don't forget. Anyway, Sharon's coming around later with another deal. I hope someone's got some bread for her.
Not me.
Oh, hell, she won't leave the stuff if we can't pay her for it.
Well, I've got a little bit of money in the bank. You can borrow some of that. I won't be needing it for a while.
Oh, great. Can you get it out today?
Yeah, I've got an interview with BHP this afternoon. I can go to the bank on the way.
I think you're going to fit in real well here, mate.
Of course he will.
Before long, they'll be taking everything that isn't nailed down.
Not if we find that key, they won't.
Where else is there to look?
Well, I tell you one thing, I'm not going to rest until we find the damn thing.
Yes, well, if we don't, we could have the prisoners letting themselves out of the place. That'd make us a laughing stock, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's a wonder we aren't already. The security around this place just isn't tight enough.
Why don't you make that point to Mrs. Davidson?
She knows how I feel.
Doesn't influence her much, though, does it?
B. Smith to see you?
Oh, thank you, Mrs. Jackson.
Call me when she's ready to go back, will you?
Well, how are you, B?
No better for you, asking. I suppose you're really pleased with yourself.
Now, what do you mean by that?
All we've been put through because of you.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The search. Not only the cells, but us. It's bloody disgusting having screws running their hands all over your body. It's enough to make your stomach turn.
You can't blame me for that.
It was you that returned the radio to the staff room, wasn't it?
Yes, yes, but I still don't see
Oh,
what that's got.
Gordon, I bet he's got a degree from some university and everything. The screws reckon one of us returned it. Now, to do that, we would have to have a key to the security gates, and that's what they're looking for right now, thanks to you.
I see.
And we're bloody annoyed about it.
Well, I'm sorry, I didn't intend to do anything to harm anyone.
Oh, isn't that terrific? Everything we've managed to smuggle in or pinch been taken by the screws.
Is this search still going on?
From what I've heard, they're not going to stop until they pull the place apart and find it. But they're not going to, are they? We know that, because it doesn't exist. So we're going to have to put up with a lot of inconvenience for nothing.
Not if I can put a stop to it.
Oh, yeah, how?
By telling Mrs. Davidson the truth. That I returned the radio to the staff room.
And that'd dob rosin.
I don't have to say where I got it from.
You all right? That might work. You give it a go.
All right, I will. On one condition.
What do you mean, one condition? You started. This is up to you to stop.
I will. I said I will. If you help me to get the women involved in my latest project.
Oh, good. Not another bright idea. How do we know we can trust you?
Well, I didn't lag on Chrissy Latham when she had a key today. And I did help to get Rosie out of the pound.
Yeah.
Look, B, the women need something that they can get involved in. You take Rosie, for example. She needs something to occupy her mind. She's an intelligent woman. She should be given the opportunity to put that intelligence to some use. And you too, for that matter.
Me? I'm no brain.
Oh, come on. You've got more brains than half the screws here put together.
You're not too stupid yourself. All right. I'll talk to the women. You talk to the governor.
It's a deal.
This had better not be a con.
B, would I con you?
Well, it's got me tossed. I don't mind admitting it.
They must have got rid of it somehow. Perhaps down the toilet, something like that.
We can hardly dig up the drains. Do you really think that's what happened?
Well, we can't be sure. That's the trouble.
And it was a very thorough search.
Very.
A key's such a small thing. It's like looking for a needle in a haystack.
Well, even so, every officer knew how important it was. I don't think one of us would have missed it.
Come in.
Mrs. Davidson, could I see you for a moment, please?
We're in the middle of discussing a problem, Mr. Reed.
I may have the solution to your problem if it's to do with the radio that was returned to the staff room.
Yes, it is. Come in and close the door, please.
Do you know something about this?
Yes, I'm afraid I'm the person responsible.
What do you mean?
I'd be very interested to hear your information, Mr. Reed.
One of the women gave me the radio. She explained that it had been taken from the staff room, so I simply returned it.
Who gave it to you?
I'm not at liberty to say.
That's not good enough.
No, it certainly is not. I don't think you realize the seriousness of the matter, Mr. Reed. To have taken the radio, the prisoner concerned would have to have a key to the security gates.
There's no key.
Then how did she get the radio in the first place?
Lizzie Birdsworth took it. I gather she'd been to see you, and you let her leave unaccompanied?
That's true. Lizzie did have an opportunity to take the radio.
Then all our effort has been for nothing.
It would appear so. It's a great pity you didn't inform us earlier.
Well, I wasn't here this morning, so I didn't know what was going on.
Yes, well, thank you for the information, Mr. Reed.
Oh, I would like to see you on another matter when you have time.
Perhaps tomorrow.
Fine.
I find that incredible, Mrs. Davidson.
So do I. How could you let him walk out of here without naming the woman who gave him the radio?
Well, we know Lizzie took the radio. I see no point in punishing the woman who had the good grace to return it.
He still should have told you who it was. It appears he's siding with the prisoners against us.
He is trying to win their confidence. Whilst I do not approve of his methods, I do understand his reasons. Besides, it could be of great advantage to us to have someone in whom the women completely trust.
You mean you're just going to let him go his own way?
For the time being, yes.
Getting sick of waiting?
Just a little. How did you go?
Oh, pretty good. I think I got the job.
You're a bit of an oddball for wanting a job like that. Working in the mine sounds positively archaic.
Oh, I don't know. I think I'd enjoy it. Besides, it gives me a chance to get away from Melbourne and from Dad. Chance to start a life of my own.
Will your dad be mad when he finds out you've drawn out all your savings?
Who cares? I don't know. I can do what I like now. No more study. I'm as free as a bird.
I'm really looking forward to being able to start studying again.
Good. Well, there's some of my son's textbooks. He won't be needing them any longer.
Oh, terrific. This should give me something to get my teeth into. Don't look like they've been used much. Didn't your son finish his studies?
No. Anyway, you get started on those. In the meantime, I'll draw up a curriculum for you with the education department.
There is one problem.
Yeah, what's that?
Well, the women I share my dormitory with never stop chattering. The recreation room's like Flinders Street Station. Where am I going to study?
I've already thought about that. I'm hoping to have the library facilities here extended. Apart from yourself, there are one or two others who might be interested. With a bit of luck, I'll have you all transferred into the same block.
Oh, that's a great idea. Then we could all study together.
Yes, and it will keep you away from some of the more disturbing influences around here.
Like who?
Oh, B. Smith, for example.
Bee's all right. She just likes to have her own way a bit too much, that's all.
But you'd sooner be in a study group on your own, wouldn't you?
Oh, yes. Yes, I'd like that very much. I'm back, Mum.
Oh, hello, Carolyn. I just came across to see if I could help your mother at this unhappy time.
I've told her there's nothing she can do.
I've just made us both a nice cuppa. Pour yourself one.
Oh, I don't think Mum's really up to visitors just yet, Mrs. Seymour.
Oh, the chat'll probably do her good. Bottling it all up inside's not the thing, you know. Better to talk about it and get it out of your system a bit.
I don't want to talk about it.
Besides, I was just about to take Mum down to the doctor's to get her some sort of sedative, so if you don't mind...
Oh, well, if I'm holding you up...
Well, maybe we could have a chat later in the week when Mum's feeling a bit better.
All right then, dear. Now, don't you forget, Vivian, if there's anything you want, you only have to call. That's what neighbours are for. I know how much you'll miss him, dear, but there's a rainbow after the storm.
Thanks for calling in, Mrs. Seymour. It's really very kind of you.
I'm always willing to help. Always been the willing horse, as they say.
She knows something.
What do you mean?
That remark of hers about the rainbow after the storm. She knows about the insurance money. She's suspicious.
No, she's not. She just means that eventually things will seem better, and so they will.
How can they, when we know what really happened? We won't get away with it, Carolyn. Someone will find out.
Not if you keep your cool, they won't, Mum. Now, why don't you go and lie down? You look exhausted.
Oh, I couldn't sleep.
Maybe I should take you down to the doctor's to get a sedative.
I don't want a sedative. All I want is for this to be over and done with.
Well, I think I'll just pop down to the pub for a few beers before dinner. And I might get myself picked up by a good-looking bloke.
Ah, B.
Well, what do you know? No sooner said than done. Picked up by a good-looking bloke. Your place or mine?
I just wanted to let you know that I've kept my side of the bargain. No names, no petrol.
Okay, I'll do my bit. I'll have a word with the rest of them in the recreation room tonight.
Fine, tell them it. Hello, Vera. Busy day? No, see you tomorrow.
Looks like he's getting on your goat, Vera. What's the matter? Doesn't he play the game your way?
Get yourself ready for dinner, Smith.
Oh, I was going to have some fun with the bloke instead. Here, Mum.
Mum, let me do that. You check the meat in the oven for me.
Oh, I'll get it.
I couldn't bear any more condolences. Carolyn, no matter who it is, please, please don't let them in.
All right, Mum. I'll tell them you're resting and can't be disturbed.
Sorry to trouble you this time of evening. There's one or two points I have to clear up.
We were just about to sit down to have dinner.
Well, hopefully we'll be able to clean this up quickly.
Well, I told you everything I could this morning when I gave my statement.
Yes, I know, but there are one or two discrepancies I'd like to talk to you about.
What sort of discrepancies?
Well, for one thing, the bread knife, there were no fingerprints on it. None whatsoever.
I told you the man wore gloves.
Even so, there should have been smeared prints from whoever had used the knife previously, but this was clean, as if it had been wiped. Now, surely neither of the two men stopped to wipe the knife handle.
No, of course not. Oh, I know why the knife handle was so clean. I thought I'd mentioned it before.
I don't remember it.
It hadn't been touched since I'd washed up.
Fair enough. There's one other thing. The report we had from forensics showed that your father had been killed almost an hour before we were called in. I can't understand your delay.
We were both very upset.
Yes, well, even so, your father had been murdered, and yet you let almost an hour go past before you called the police.
We hardly knew what we were doing. We haven't got the phone on here, and I didn't want to leave my mother alone.
Stop it! Stop it, Carolyn! I can't stand it anymore.
Don't, Mum.
It's no use. They know we're lying. They know.
Sharon should be here soon.
Is there enough for the stuff?
Money.
Oh, good. We'll buy a bit extra and flog it at Tech. We should be able to get your money back, Tony. We might even make a profit.
It's what I call living.
My mum could see me now, she'd have a heart attack.
And my old man, he'd throw a purple fit.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought the light must have been left on by mistake.
No. Still at it. Come in, mate.
You're not usually here at this hour. I got the distinct impression that you couldn't wait to get out of the place each night.
Yes, and after some of the reactions I got here today, I get the feeling there are those who are hoping that when I go home tonight, I won't be coming back again.
So you're going to hang on in here, sleep on the desk.
I don't think it'll quite come to that. No, I'm still having problems getting this radio station project off the ground. As you said, raising the funds is the hardest part.
Yes, I can imagine. Do you really think you'll get the women interested?
I've got to get them involved in something. Something more constructive than constantly battling with the screws. Oops, sorry. Authorities.
And you've got yourself well and truly stuck in the middle, haven't you?
You can say that again. And I don't particularly relish the idea of being caught between B. Smith on the one hand and Vera and Jim on the other hand.
When you put it like that, it does sound rather horrifying. I gather Jim and Vera aren't very fond of you at the moment.
Yeah, well, that's something I'll just have to put up with. I've got to get the women trusting me, no matter what the officers think. It's the women who need my help.
My husband Bill often had the same problem.
Yes, I know.
Oh, you read up on Latham's case history. Life's pretty ironical, isn't it? The people you try to help the most are often the ones that turn against you.
Yes, I know what you mean. Well, maybe I should get going before Vera and Jim find that I'm here alone and beat the hell out of me.
I don't think you're in that much danger. Although, I wouldn't like to bet on it.
He's made a fool out of all of us.
It's the waste of time and effort I'm mad about. Searching the whole damn building from top to bottom for something that doesn't even exist.
I caught him in the corridor having a cosy little chat with Smith. I don't like the idea of those two becoming so chummy.
Yeah, I suppose that's his job. But I tell you one thing I've noticed about social workers in general. They have very little regard for security.
Well, the way Reed's going, he's going to make a big mistake before too long.
Well, if he does, I'll come down on him like a ton of bricks.
You won't be alone. Mr. Reed's going to have to watch his step.
He was pointing the rifle at Mum. I knew he was about to pull the trigger, so I had to do something. I got hold of the knife. And the next thing I knew, he was lying on the floor and there was blood.
Is all that correct?
Yes.
Is there anyone can testify as to your husband's violence?
No. I didn't want anyone to know. You see, I realized it wasn't really Brian's fault. He couldn't help it. Poor man.
Well, the fact that no one can back up your story about his cruelty could make things difficult for you.
You can see what he did to her.
The bruise could have been caused in self-defense when the two of you attacked him.
We didn't attack him. I told you he was about to shoot Mum.
Yes, I know. But I've only got your word for that. And now we discovered that your father was heavily insured.
We didn't even know about that.
No.
We know the family situation financially wasn't a good one. Isn't it possible that the two of you conspired to kill Mr. Williams for the insurance?
No, that's not true. We didn't know about the insurance. I did it to save my mother, that's all. You've got to believe me.
She has told you the truth, Sergeant.
Well, in light of the evidence, I have no choice but to ask you to accompany me to the station.
Come on, my darling. I'm afraid we have a lot to face yet.
We've been waiting for you for ages. It's my usual time. It's just that we're completely run out. Well, we can soon fix that. Hi, everyone. Who's this?
He's a mate from the tech. Can he read? Sharon.
Yes, he's living here with us for a while. You needn't worry. He's all right. He'd better be. Of course he is. Wouldn't have him here otherwise. All right.
We want a bit more than usual.
Have you got the bread?
Sure. Discount for bulk orders?
Can have 2 packages for that. Only 2? You know this stuff doesn't come cheap.
We'll divide this one up now.
Right.
You don't get much for 200, do you?
It's expensive, but it's worth it. Same time next week?
We'll be waiting.
As long as you have the cash.
We always do, don't we?
See you.
Bye. Stay right where you are, folks. Just been busted.
He used to give me roses. I wish he could again. But that was on the outside, and things were different then.